Hi, I'm Steve Anthony, professional photographer with SteveAnthonyStudios.com. In this clip, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to use an SLR camera. This is an SLR camera. First tip, learn what it is. SLR stands for single lens reflex. Now this differs from a point and shoot camera in the sense that you have a body with interchangeable lenses. If you look in there, you'll see that there's a little mirror. It's called a reflex mirror. When you take a picture, the mirror flips up out of the way so that the image sensor can be exposed to the light that comes through the lens. So when you put a lens on the camera, when you look through the viewfinder, what you're seeing through the viewfinder is actually what the lens is seeing. And this allows you to compose a photograph that sees exactly what the lens sees. Now, your second tip is going to be selecting the type of lens you want to use. In this case, I've put on an 85mm portrait lens. This is a slightly telephoto lens, which is good for doing pictures of people because it sort of compresses the features a little bit and allows for a background to go out of focus. But many people like to use a zoom lens on their SLR camera because it allows for variation of focal lengths, so you can go from wide angle to telephoto within the same lens. That's the two types of lenses: fixed focal length like this 85, or a zoom lens such as this, which ranges all the way from 28 to 85mm in length. Now the third tip that you want to use, decide the exposure mode that you want to use for your photography. Now SLR cameras have a dial, most of them have a dial on top of the camera that allows you to select the mode. The various modes of exposure that you have to choose from are generally manual, where you select the shutter speed and the aperture. Automatic, aperture mode, which you select the aperture and the camera selects the shutter speed. Shutter speed, where you select the shutter speed, the camera selects the aperture. As you get to know your camera a little bit better, you'll begin to understand what is going to work best for you. Some people like to use a wide aperture to get a shallow depth of field for an out-of-focus background. And some people like to use a smaller aperture, but they want to use a fast shutter speed in order to freeze motion. So these are the different modes that you can use. Explore your camera, get to know it. And this has been Steve Anthony, and happy photography.